Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Rendezvous. I'm Kaya. I hope you're having an amazing Friday and you're ready to get into today's episode. We have found ourselves on My Neighbor's Dead TikTok. That's where we found ourselves. So, yeah, basically every other day I open TikTok and what do I find on my For You page? Someone's neighbor is dead. And they don't know like if they're dead for a fact or if they might still be alive, but they just might have a dirty house or something. There's some signs that a lot of people have had in common with their dead neighbor, which is the curtain is like covered in death flies. So, death flies apparently are like flies that can sense death before like it even happens. I was reading one of the comments actually in a video. This person was like, their dog was covered in flies a week prior to the dog dying. And these same flies, they like cover dead bodies and just like dead animals, dead things in general. So I was on TikTok. I saw this girl. She posted a video. I can't remember her name. If you've seen this story and like you know her at, please let me know in the comments down below because I want to give credit to all of these people who have posted these stories. But yeah, this girl, she posted a TikTok of her neighbor's window. It was completely covered in death flies. And she said that the apartment complex had this really bad smell. It just like filled the whole apartment complex. So eventually, like the authorities came and turns out, yeah, her neighbor has been dead for like a few days or probably like weeks. I'm not sure. I can't exactly remember. But apparently, this neighbor had a roommate, and the roommate didn't know that the person was dead. Like, how do you not know that your roommate is dead? Like, I'd be checking up on them. Like, are you okay? Are you like, if I haven't seen them for a few days and we're roommates, I feel like I would check up on them. You know what I mean? But someone else in the comments, they were like, yeah, this happens sometimes. Apparently, someone they know, they were like roommates with other people, I guess. And one of the roommates didn't come out of their room for a few days. And they said like the house was smelling, but they would just like stick sticky notes or like papers on the door saying like, to clean your room or whatever. But they never suspected that the roommate might be dead. And turns out, yeah, they were also dead. And then she updated again later, I think yesterday. And yeah, the authorities are not gonna like give us any more information basically. So that's the end of that. And then about 3 days ago, I also saw another TikTok. This girl, she had a maggot infestation. They were like all of these maggots falling through the ceiling, and she did not know why. So she went to her neighbor and asked the neighbor, like, do you have a maggot infestation too? And they were like, no. But usually a maggot infestation is a sign of a dead body. And I haven't seen that neighbor that lives upstairs. I haven't seen that neighbor for a while. So this girl goes upstairs to the neighbor, knocks on the door, and no one answers. So eventually, like, the authorities come, and turns out, like, yeah, the neighbor's dead. There's a dead body there, and all the maggots covered on the body, and whatever, and like they're coming through the ceiling and falling onto her floor. So she had to get like a light cover or something. I don't know what it's called, but she taped something to the ceiling so that like they would fall into that instead of like falling on her floor. Because there were like so many. It wasn't like one or two. There were so many. So she asked her landlord to do something about it, like get an exterminator or something. And the landlord did not. So eventually her dad like threatened the landlord to sue or whatever, and then the landlord was like, okay, we're gonna move you. That's great. But yeah, another neighbor dead and no one knew about it for a while. There were signs, but no one really knew. Basically, she realized that the paper that was in the neighbor's door hadn't been moved for like 2 weeks. And apparently, she wanted to tell the authorities or something, but something happened. I don't know if someone told her not to or something, I'm not sure. But she wanted to. And yeah, that neighbor also had like the death flies covering the curtain in the window and was also dead. Yeah, turns out that neighbor was dead. There's another person. I was actually on Reddit the same day that I saw one of these stories, and they posted a picture with the similar death flies. And it says, "What are the chances my neighbor's house has a dead body?" So I saw this comment. About 5 cop cars showed up and inspected the house for about 45 minutes. When they finally came out, I asked about the situation. Unfortunately, they said there were several dead cats and other animals. They said the house must have belonged to a hoarder. Trash, animal feces, and dried up cat and rat bodies all over the place, which could explain the amount of flies in the house. But the cops couldn't get much farther in and need to call in a special team to look into it and see about cleaning up the place. I'll update with more information as it comes. I didn't find an update about it, but I saw this one comment. I can't find it now, but they were saying that usually, they were an EMT, and they were saying that it wouldn't be surprising if they actually find a dead body under all of that stuff that's in that house. They might find a dead body. Another comment says, "Story time. Lived next door to a single man, older than middle age, but not old. Saw him sometimes coming and going from the apartment, but we were on opposite schedules, so I didn't think anything of it when I didn't see him for a while. At the same time, but unrelated in my mind at that moment, I noticed a couple of fat black flies in my apartment. I made sure to take out my trash. Then about a week later, my landlord approaches me and asks if I've seen my neighbor recently. I say no, and she tells me that his car hasn't moved in over a week and points up to his window where I see flies just like those in OP's picture. My neighbor's window is on the other side of the building from my entrance, so I didn't notice them. Instant sinking feeling. I go and pack from work and hear them on our shared landing knocking at my neighbor's door. No answer. EMTs, police, and fire arrive. Landlord opens the door and they go inside. Flies fly out in mass. Sure enough, he was found dead inside. He was dead for so long and in such heat that he kind of melted to the mattress. They took him out in a body bag and gurney and then brought down the mattress stained with a human-shaped patch. The poor guy was dead in there for like a week. He had no family or friends that realized he was MIA or that came to claim his things. It was so depressing. And man, the smell. They left his door open to air before it got deep cleaned, but I had to walk past it every time I went into or out of my apartment, and it was choking. I've read books where they find a dead body somewhere, and the author describes the smell, but until you've breathed in that stench, you have no idea. I know it's stupid, but it kind of freaked me out, thinking how I was living next to a dead body for a week, and the flies in my apartment came from that guy's corpse. It's just like sad that some people, like, they don't have anyone to check up on them. They don't have anyone like even checking up on them, even like it's just like once a week or something. Like no one. And even like some of these people, like the person that had a roommate, like you have a whole roommate and you don't check. Like I can see maybe a neighbor, but your roommate, that's what I like about like friendly neighborhoods. Everyone knows each other. Everyone's like friendly enough to the point where like they know when you're home, when you're not home, that kind of thing. And they get used to like everybody saying good morning to each other and all of that. So the one day that you don't, it's like suspicious. Like, is she okay? Is he okay? Are they okay? Like, it's a whole thing, you know? So like somebody's going to come check up on you. And when you're not in a friendly neighborhood, obviously that it's going to be the opposite, unfortunately. Someone else said, this reminds me of a YouTube video I saw. It was from a channel called Lawn Care juggernaut. I don't know much about him or his channel, but it looks like he goes out and does free yard services in his free time. He was doing this one house that he thought was abandoned, and he started to notice a smell. At first, he thought it was a dead animal in the yard or something, but he noticed the smell got worse by one of the windows and noticed flies inside the window, just like this picture. He ended up calling in a welfare check, and unfortunately, they did find a dead body. So yeah, those flies are definitely a sign that something's dead in there. Definitely, if you are living in a neighborhood where you have like good neighbors, friendly neighbors, definitely just check up on them once in a while, especially older people, you know? Sometimes you don't have anyone checking up on them, unfortunately. But that's all for today, guys. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to get notified when new episodes are out, which is every Friday. And you can also leave a comment down below or send me a message on Anchor FM. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I'd love to hear like if you have any suggestions for future episodes, please leave a message. Thank you for listening and being here with me today. Until next time.